Hello there. Hi, it's me, Camila Rose, and I've been trying to figure out what video I want to do for this week, like what topic I want to focus on. We have Mercury that enters Taurus on the 15th. That is today when I'm recording these, and we have the Sun entering Gemini on the 20th. So Gemini season is going to be ramping up. Now, as you all know, we've been feeling the deep impact of a very active Aries energy, very active Gemini energy. So thus Mercury has been very active and Mars has been very active as their respective leaders or rulers of those signs. And so I'm kind of curious as to what is going to be the Gemini lesson. Maybe that's the one I'll look into. Tell us about this time between Taurus and Gemini, because we have a lot going on in Taurus. We have Jupiter that's still lingering just the tiniest bits in Taurus. We have Venus that's still lingering just the tiny bits in Taurus. Uranus is still there in Taurus at the very end. You know, we've probably had a lot of really significant things that have upended your understanding of value and worth and where you want to put your time and energy. And then look at your birth chart to see what house this falls in, because this will let you know how this is impacting you. Now, hi Scorpios, this is your video. So as this is the Scorpio video, whatever planet you have in Scorpio, rising, MC, whatever you have going on there, it is very likely that you have experienced some opposition because Taurus energy is opposed to Scorpio energy. And so there's probably been a push and a bit of tension, but one that's related to hopefully bringing you some growth, some grounding, some perspective, some peace in your life that has occurred. So let's take a look and let's see what the Taurus Gemini lesson will be. What's the energy coming from Taurus season into Gemini season? You have a Four of Cups as your main card. So this has been kind of a moment where you've been looking at, interesting. This has been a moment when you've been looking at your options, looking at new opportunities coming in. This may have been a new relationship connection that's come up for you. We have a Page of Swords, so new lessons. Perhaps you started taking some classes. Sorry, you can't see. There we go. Perhaps you started taking some classes, or perhaps you just decided it was time for you to learn something new. You've reached an ending. There was a change that occurred. So there was an ending that occurred. We had the Death card. We had the Page of the Knight of Pentacles, and as you can see, the Death card and the Knight of Pentacles look very similar to each other. And we have the Two of Swords. Interesting. And so this change that happened, and perhaps you changed some of your job, perhaps you started a new job, perhaps you decided to start studying so that you can move into a different field, left you with a decision that you had to make. I'm going to clarify for this Two. This Two of Swords is clarified by a Five of Swords. Oh, that Five of Swords is saying that there may have really been some issues going on related to feeling like you were prepared, feeling like you could trust the circumstances and the people that you were with, whether that was in your job or in another space. And part of what you may be coming up against as we move more into Gemini season is Nine of Pentacles, really finding a place where you can rest. It seems like right now you're probably in a little bit of a hustle mentality. You have a King of Cups, which could be you. You are the Scorpio. You are a cup sign. Very emotionally mature, very emotionally available, really trying to get your emotions grounded, really feeling like you are in command of your emotions. This might be somebody else in your life who's holding that space. But you're in a stressful moment, it's a stressful situation. And it feels a little bit like King of Cups is someone outside of you. Perhaps someone that you work with. You do have all these lovely pentacles. Perhaps a father figure or someone of that nature. Partner. you have this Nine of Pentacles over a Nine of Swords. So you're stressing about this financial situation. You're stressing about this change you want to make to your finances, about maybe the learning curve there and having to pick up something new, and then really saying, okay, well, I have to button down and I just got to focus. I got to like really become the expert in this area. I just have to do the work. And so there's this, I think it's nice, kind of a dedication of what's coming in here. Tell us more about what's going to happen during Gemini season. The Emperor, okay, getting some order coming into your life, some balance coming into your life, feeling like maybe there's more dreams that are accessible to you. You have a Three of Wands, which is some exploration, turning your back on the past, stepping into the future, feeling really calm and self-assured about that and very excited about that. I think as things start to balance out for you, I think they'll be easier. Definitely not feeling stuck in the past. So I know there's been a lot of reflection going on for you, Scorpio, and it's been all that very active Taurus energy. And it seems as the stars and the planets shift from Taurus to Gemini, that we see some of this energy that's felt a little stuck start to finally get moving for you, start to finally get moving forward for you. It seems like the help of Mercury kind of moving forward, moving into Taurus, helping with that communication, getting closer to its rulership over Gemini. This energies, Venus and Jupiter moving into Gemini, are also helping to really kind of support this movement forward for you. You have a choice that you need to make, and you may have already made it, just because this would be more like the end of Taurus season, and we're basically at the end of Taurus season. So you may have already made this choice about where it is that you want to move forward, and it might have been something that was really that like you weren't expecting, that you weren't thinking that this was going to be an option for you. Tell me a little bit more about the two. Yeah, but a big dream of yours that you've been wanting, something that you've been wishing upon a star and hoping that it would happen, and maybe not ever feeling fully secure to trust that you could make this choice and go in this new direction, and that it would be something that would work, something that would really be supportive of you, something that would actually lead you out of the space that you've been in into a brighter, better future, one that you can dream about and that you can envision. I would definitely say that if you've maybe been focusing a bit on the past, because your cards at the end indicate that there's been a lot of self-reflection, that you really start thinking about like taking the courage and some curiosity, working really closely with that Mercury energy to look at being a little curious about what the future could look like for you, and not getting so attached to it that you feel like you can't move outside of it, but more so just having that awareness and that openness. We do have this opportunity here, and as we say, like this, even the Four of Cups kind of reiterates this narrative about learning from the past, but not getting stuck in the past, lifting your head up and looking towards the offers, like what's happening for you in the present, thinking about the future, taking steps to put those things into place and actually see them come to fruition with this Four of Cups, which is kind of like the synopsis of your entire reading. The overview of your entire reading is this Four of Cups energy, which is like, if you are so stuck in the past, you will not see the opportunities coming in. And I think you have to make a concerted effort, a strong effort to actually see that happen, see that play out for you. So with this Nine of Pentacles in reverse, it really is a like beginning of this month or end of this month, Sun moving into Gemini, May 20th, you're really going to understand that you cannot rest on your laurels. There is some work that needs to be done. And this work that needs to be done will either be highlighted by a King of Cups or you maturing emotionally, and you finally getting to this point where you let that more young, foolish energy go, and you allow yourself to say that, like, okay, I have to be the person who makes the decisions in my life, and I especially need to react and behave in ways that are emotionally mature. I can no longer kind of play the, suave, cool, oh, I didn't know, or oh, I was just trying to make up my mind, I was trying to make a decision. No. Like you can't operate in that way anymore. You have to be more mature. You have to step into the fullness of whatever sign it is that or whatever planet it is you have in Scorpio. Because this is stressful. It will feel stressful for you. It may give you anxiety. It may keep you up at night. But peace will come from just buckling down and doing the work. If you need to, make a list. If you're not good at that and that's not your thing, find you an earth sign who can help you. That's why we have all this very active Taurus energy. Tap into that in order to kind of redirect things. We have that Emperor, we have that Aries energy. Mars is currently in Aries right now. So that kind of bringing order, finding some stability, finding a system, finding a process that really works, or having someone who can come in and help you out with that is going to bring you that balance. It's going to get you out of that space and firmly move you forward, okay? All right, let's look at your outcome. You have the Six of Swords. Love that for you. Nice progression of your Swords energy. And we really want to see that from the beginning, from what we've experienced back then. We have a Knight of Cups. There you go. There's still some work to do emotionally. But with the Six of Swords, that is moving from a space where that's taking this Five of Swords, which is a card where you see, was there a battle fought? Or someone here in the background is crying, someone's walking away, there's swords litter on the ground, and there's a man who's kind of looking back, and you can't tell, like, what is his face trying to express? That's like, okay, see, I knew this was going to go sideways, and I knew I needed to protect myself. I knew I couldn't trust you all, or like, okay, well, we came out and we made it through, but there's things that have been lost in the process. Five is always a card about expansion, and you've been pushed to expand yourself in this last moments, in this work that's come from Taurus energy has been pushing you to mentally expand yourself and expand the way you've been thinking. Lean into a new path, especially if it comes to how it is that you make money, what it is that you value, how you take care of your health, things of that nature, and to really think about long term. Venus is still in Taurus and is in the underworld. It is moving to a superior conjunction to the sun, so it is invisible to us. We cannot see Venus. It is about to be reborn. So when you are in the underworld and you're going through this journey of really assessing these Venetian traits and qualities and aspects, look at your own personal Venus, see what's going on there. Look at the house that Venus is in, see what's going on there. See if there are any connections to the sign of Taurus. And as I've gone through in all the other videos where you can see, for those who have, Venus has gone all the way through the sign of Taurus. So everybody who has a Scorpio planet, a planet in Scorpio, has experienced some form of opposition to Venus going in the underworld. There has been a kind of forced reevaluation, perhaps even a moment of crises, perhaps even a moment of death or of ending of things being taken away from you. Because if we follow through with perhaps Inanna's trip through the underworld, who is known as the morning and evening star, queen of heaven and earth, she was associated with the planet Venus. During her underworld journey, at each gate of the underworld, there was something that was taken away from her, and that she had to surrender at each gate, one of her symbols of power. So there may have been something that was a symbol of power for you that may have been related to ideas of your voice and being able to speak up. As we have so many swords and we have so many cups here, perhaps there was something that you had to let go of or to directly address, or that you were pulled into, that you had to surrender to, around communicating about your emotional needs and about the offers that have been coming in, or the things that you've done in the past, the ways you've been betrayed in the past, and the wishes that you've been making and the hope that you've been having, your desire and your dream life that you would like to have, where you are able to have these trusting, loving, caring, emotionally and mentally stable connections with other people, and why those have been having the issues that they've been having, why those haven't been in alignment in the way that you wanted them to. And it's forcing you kind of into this space of leaving a really negative mental health space behind and moving towards a much more fulfilling, taking the cup that's showing up for you. We have a Queen of Swords here, so good boundaries. This could be another individual, so they might be a little cold. They might be very logical. But this may also be saying that it's time for you to have really good boundaries, really strong boundaries, be a little more logical and combining, again, temperance, heart and mind, combining the wisdom of your heart and your mind, where your heart is guiding you, but also the wisdom, the information, the knowledge and awareness to be able to understand and to figure out which path is the best path for you to move forward. You have a 2 of Wands here with a little bit of this forward movement and a little bit of this walking away. It does seem that you might be looking back a little bit still. So there is still kind of that pull. There is still kind of that like, okay, like, am I sure? But it's one of those where it's like, let me pull another card. I want to just pull another one just to see. King of Swords. Yeah. You have, there's a lot here around meditation. If you are not meditating, Scorpios, you need to be meditating. You need to be journaling. You need to be getting your thoughts, your mind clear, getting your thoughts out, learning how to communicate really well. When you find out what your values are, when you identify what your needs are, you need to write those down. You need to keep them with you. And then you need to use that as kind of like your assessment, your measuring rod, which is one of the things that Ainana ended up having to give up during her journey to the underworld, to see how it is that, like, okay, is this something that's in alignment with me? Is this something that's not? But when you're too cluttered, because this is a cluttered mind, look at all those swords there in this 9 of Swords. This is a cluttered mind. These are saying you have to clear your mind. You have to release these things that are just cluttering up and taking up space. And the way to do that is to figure out, yes, these are my values. These are my core needs. These are the wounds that I have experienced. These are the things that work for me. These are the things that don't. This is the stuff I'm unsure about. And where you are clear, where you have had these previous experiences and you have that wisdom and you know you need to make different choices, you know you need to walk away from situations. If it's not in alignment, you have to say no. You have to be clear on those boundaries and you have to walk the walk, talk the talk. There is still time to kind of work through this. I would say definitely that you're going to find out more and experience more of this until Venus completely moves, is reborn on June 10th. So when that happens on June 10th and Venus goes through this rebirth process and is reborn on the other side, that is really when kind of the moment of application happens. Right now, you're still learning. Right now, you're still growing. I would leave space for that, but meditate, journal, write, speak these things out, start getting clear because you're going to need to apply them soon. Okay. I'm debating whether I think I want to do an oracle card for everyone. I'm just feeling the oracle card vibes right now. And I haven't pulled from my favorite little oracle card deck in a while. So let's see what your oracle card is. You have 22 Peace. I feel like it doesn't get any more clear than that. This is also 4. So like 4s are big for you right now. Emperor energy is very big for you right now. This is an archetype that might be really helpful for you to work with specifically right now, is the archetype of the Emperor, and perhaps even one of like the strategist that would be a very prominent, very mature King of Swords air energy. So a combination of that Emperor and that air, of that Aries and maybe a little bit of that Libra vibe, of that very mature, very wise air energy. But the Peace brings back to me to Venus and the lessons of Venus that are coming up to you right now. And one of the ways that you can use, one of your metrics you can use to decide if something is in alignment with you or isn't, is does it bring you peace of mind? Because that seems to be a big crux of things that are going on here. Does it bring you peace of mind? Does it make it easy to decide what direction you need to go in or whether you need to accept an offer or not? How do you know? How do you make those decisions? If you don't have a very clear way of measuring, a way of weighing things out, you need to figure out what that looks like so that you can start using that to start making decisions and testing out whether that works or not. Otherwise, you're just throwing things at the wall and hoping that they stick. And that's not helpful or fruitful for you. Let's take a look at peace. The key to this situation is peace. Do you get to make peace with a conflict? Peace in a relationship? Perhaps you get to make peace within yourself. Only you can determine the best way to go about it. But whatever has been offered so far isn't working. No amount of stress is worth your health and well-being, so reevaluate what you've offered in the past and what you're willing to create now to restore your equilibrium. Seek peace at all costs, for it protects the treasure of your one precious life. I feel like it doesn't get any more clear than that. I feel like this is pretty obvious to me. So like, there you go, Scorpios. Here's your reading for this week. Here's the energy going from Taurus season to Gemini season with all the stuff that's going on. I wish you the best. Find your peace. I love you. I'll talk to y'all later. If you like a personal reading, go ahead and check out my website. If you would like to work with me, go ahead and check out my website. If you want information about the current transits, I have a transit report. So how the planets currently are specifically impacting you, go ahead and check out that transit report. It's a special that's running right now. It's only $30. And I'll look at all the planets. I'll look at all of your natal chart. I'll compare them together and let you know how best to work with the energy. All right. I'll see y'all later. Love you. Bye.